what I'm saying? Because they knew where his bag was. You gonna tell me the police could not get that man? You think I'm not? You think I can't read? You know what I'm saying? They asked me why I write this shit. You think I can't read? You think I don't know what went down?
So do you, in terms of you feel that you're a product of that, or you
I'm a product of a society that will openly tell me that my life isn't worth anything.
The FBI had a program called COINTELPRO, in which it completely trampled on the rights of Americans, open mail, and during this period, a letter was sent to Martin Luther King, who was about to get the Nobel Peace Prize. And I think it had like some tapes of King having an affair. And the letter, which I believe was written by William Sullivan, told King that he needed to commit suicide before he accepted the Nobel Prize, or these tapes would come out. COINTELPRO was really nasty, especially like with the American Indian movement and also the Black Panthers. And there's evidence that COINTELPRO definitely contributed to the death of Fred Hampton, who was a Black Panther in Chicago. But there was a member of the American Indian movement named Emery Aquish, and the FBI floated information that she was an informant, and she was murdered by two members of the American Indian movement because they thought she was an informant.
And who would have known the child who was still in Afeni Shakur's womb when the FBI tried to throw the book at her would grow up watching history repeat itself. East versus West, black men with power set up to destroy each other. It was the same divide and conquer playbook the COINTELPRO had deployed against the Black Panthers decades earlier. Diddy, or Puff Daddy, the son of a former Harlem drug dealer who had been killed after being discovered as an informant, would play a similar role in what can be seen as the evolution of COINTELPRO in the streets. While Pop was cut from a lineage of black liberation leaders, Diddy came from a lineage of an informant, a legacy that he would continue. Let's roll the clip.
Pop has been an FBI informant forever. That's what he was saying. That's why it's different when we come in. Regardless who get hurt, I think they should all blame everything on Pop. Executives in the industry knew about it. Everybody in his crew knew about it. His DJ knew about it.
And this is documented. Puff being a CI for an FBI agent. I said this years ago that him and Kirk Burroughs took some paperwork. They was taking some papers up to the FBI, so like when they was here in New York. They was taking paperwork up there and stuff like that. Don't know what it was, but later on found out that he was a CI.
But at the same time, whatever the situation is, everybody knows wrong. And I don't think he can get punished as hard as the regular person because, you know,
he about to bust a move. Don't worry, everyone tapped in, man.
So
press that button right there. Y'all know what's up.
There's this
Playing the game of bones. I'm on this end, the homie's on the other end. It's his move. Let's go. 14 people on the live. Y'all know what's going on. I'm Fresh. What's good with you? What's up, bro? Subscribe to the channel, man. Appreciate you tapping in. We do a lot more than just play bones.
His One Nation project was intentional and strategic. Recorded in June of 1996, after All Eyes on Me, but before 7 Day Theory, it was set to change the narrative built around Pac. In a letter to his friend Big,
watching a Tupac documentary as well.
Writing and quote, "I'm doing a record now called
So what is that? Nothing.
Album with me, Greg Nice, Buckshot, Smith & Wesson, Outkast, The Outlaws, Scarface, and E40. It'll be out by late summer." The truth of the matter is, Tupac's political and cultural DNA was rooted in black liberation and radical thought. His stepfather, Mutulu Shakur, was a member of the Black Liberation Army and was sentenced to 60 years for his alleged involvement in the robbery of a Brinks truck in 1981. While incarcerated in 1992, Mutulu and Tupac created the Codes of Thug Life, a manual of ethical rules for gang members. For example, rule number 12, no selling drugs to pregnant women, and rule number 22, no shooting up parties. Let's roll a clip.
Even arguing, I mean, when they start tattooing thug life, when we start talking about thug life, what do you mean thug life? What are you talking about? Snapping somebody's pocket? Why are you talking about no fucking step? What are you talking about? I'm talking about thug. Why? What is thug? I'm in jail with a bunch of these no good motherfuckers. Is this thug life? What are you talking about? Okay, define it. Define thug life. Research. Make your own definition. I don't have a problem with it, but come up with something that is clearly what you're talking about. We argued like hell. Our relationship wasn't, you know.
Got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. son. Ain't shit.
Other key figures who shaped Tupac's worldview include Assata Shakur and Geronimo Pratt. Assata, a former Black Panther and later a Black Liberation Army member, was convicted in 1977 for allegedly murdering a New Jersey state trooper during a 1973 shootout. She was a target of the FBI's COINTELPRO and had no chance of beating the feds. Or at least that's what they thought. She escaped prison in 1979 and fled to Cuba and remained a fugitive until passing away peacefully of old age in September of this year. Geronimo Pratt was Tupac's godfather and a high-ranking Black Panther leader, serving as Deputy Minister of Defense for the Los Angeles chapter. A Vietnam War veteran and activist, Pratt was wrongfully convicted of murder in 1972. The case was widely believed to have been fabricated under COINTELPRO. He spent 27 years in prison before the conviction was overturned in 1997. In the following clips, Tupac speaks with members of the New African Panther Party, which was the young adult branch of the New African People's Organization. As the party's national chairman, Pac addresses students about the figures who inspired him. He also speaks on Geronimo in various interviews as well. Let's roll the clip.
This kid to some, please, you know, talk. Let them know, because he's not going to tell them about the side. He's not going to tell them about the side. Assata Shakur is a sister who I feel America made a target. Now, this is unusual because she's a sister and she was in the foreground, not in the back, helping brothers get their proper justice. And then there's Chico Rico, who was being prosecuted because he tried to help her get out of jail because his country wouldn't put her away. And y'all didn't even hear about it, you know what I'm saying?
Tupac was born into a family that required him to be a leader. And there was a real plan for Tupac Panther Party, which was the continuation of the Black Panthers.
TPAC. Now, how long have you been national chairman of the New African Panthers?
I was
18.
matter of fact, about what, a week?
A week.
To be one of many spokespersons. And because right now, it is almost impossible for you not to see how strong rap has gotten. Because our youth and some of our adults, their ear is pinned to rap music right now. And if you really want to get our message out, we really need to start using our methods, you know what I'm saying? Even in our history.
Well, because of Chico Shakur and Geronimo Pratt in jail, things that are political have nothing to do with why a man should be sent to jail. Both of them are innocent and they're behind bars for the rest of their lives. Crimes they haven't committed. Chico Shakur right now is in solitary confinement. You know what I'm saying? Just because he
12,
other prisoners
18,
so that's not political.
2022.
You're to be sent to be by yourself in the hole because you're organizing Black prisoners to be united and not to be crippling in blood, just to be united. Why would they put you in solitary confinement? That's what prison. And so I like to think my job out here is to bring some light to that.
My point is, that was the real Tupac. In the final 90 days of his life, he wasn't trying to divide. He was trying to achieve culturally what the Black Panther Party had pursued politically. One Nation was really a response to the modern-day COINTELPRO tactics used in hip-hop. Pac knew he was facing internal sabotage from compromised industry figures, and this was his Black Panther DNA in full display, as he was determined to build regional lines. To truly understand Tupac's final days is to understand the core of who he was, a socialist, a Black liberation strategist, a revolutionary with a microphone. In his speeches and his songs, he was what Fred Hampton might have been if he had been born in the 1970s. When Pac shot police officers who were roughing up a Black man, it was his armed revolutionary DNA in full effect.
That's 12, 13.
And his final plan before he died would reflect that. In those final months, Tupac gathered the outlaws, some of them from the East Coast, for a group meeting. And the goal of that meeting was to strategize how to move beyond the divisive image the media and industry had painted. Together, they mapped out alliances with other rappers to offset the East versus West propaganda. First on the list was Boot Camp Click, a rough and rugged supergroup from Brooklyn, which included Buckshot, Smith and Wesson, and the new duo at the time, Helter Skelter. Buckshot would get a call from Pac to come out to Cali, and the rest was history. Let's roll the clip.
12, 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
I got a call from Tupac personally on my phone
on the phone and I spoke to him personally. And he said he wanted us to come out because he wanted to do the One Nation album. But his goal was to make hip hop one nation and get with Biggie at the end.
And he did say in one interview that at some point he wanted it all to come together.
That was his. We used to get
That was the last one.
and that was his thing.
Yeah.
Similar thing. We used to be in the crib, and that was his thing. Meaning, I'm gonna link with Big. It ain't Big. That's my brother.
I was around. I spent time hanging out, smoking blunts with both of them together. So I was around to witness the camaraderie and the love.
Well, no, it was real. It was real. Yeah, that's right. It was real. And that was what One Nation was about. It was about us bringing all of them two together to have their own moment, and they literally was going to throw their hand up. Pop was going to ask Big, like, could they hold their hand up?
Yeah. One of my favorite original tracks from the One Nation album is Let's Fight, produced by Daz Dillinger, featuring stand-up verses from Buckshot and Pac. In this track, Tupac is in full military mind persona on some Fred Hampton type shit. Let's roll the clip.
All right, dig in. Double nothing. I'll throw something out though.
The Military Mind track from Tupac's posthumous album Better
All right, me
Days
first.
was originally recorded for the One Nation.
Quick 10.
Let's roll the clip.
Oh. Nope.
In my opinion, one of the greatest posthumous Tupac collections ever assembled is the fan-created BombFirst.com compilation, which gathered all the recordings from June 1996 and crafted what feels like the definitive One Nation experience. Look, the truth is, there's never been a Tupac album after his death that lived up to his original work, but the BombFirst version is the best version I've heard out of all his posthumous works. But it wasn't just the East and West that Pac was attempting to unify. He planned an album with Scarface called Two-Face, and he had his sights on collaborations with Outkast and Goody Mob. He also intended the One Nation series to span multiple volumes for each region. This was Tupac's Black Panther DNA in full effect.
I got this new project coming out along with some other brothers on One Nation. It's like an East Coast, West Coast collaboration to kill this whole new vibe everybody want to be on about it being a war between the East Coast and the West Coast. It's really just a problem with two rappers, and everybody want to make it a bigger thing than it is.
Everybody wants to get involved in everyone else's problem.
Exactly.
No drama with a comma.
So we got it going on. I got my man Buckshot. You know what I mean? I got Smith and Wesson in here. I got Greg Nice, the whole boot camp clique representing. Boot camp and Outlaws, we all just gonna team up and just do this right. We Greg Nice, a lot of other people.
Squash all that drama.
Squash the drama. Let's get back to making some money. That's what it's all about. Making money, putting out
That's
music.
what I'm trying to do. I don't got any problem with anybody.
Good.
Thanks, man. I like your stuff too, man. You and Snoop are the homies, aren't you?
Yeah, we homies.
All right.
That's all that is.
Hey.
All righty then.
Well, we'll be back with more of the homies.
All righty.
Kool-Aid 96. Why don't you guys stick around for lots more fun? 2 America's Most Wanted. Stay tuned. That's all right.
I'm working on a new project called One Nation. Boys up. It's gonna be an East Coast, West Coast collaboration. So you got
East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
But PPD?
Nah.
None of that.
We're doing it with the real niggas from out there.
Okay.
So that we can make it more extinct.
None of them.
None of the suckers. Just real niggas.
I let the game pass me up on that one. I fucked up that last one.
We ain't doing it with none of them.
And consider the timeline. All Eyes on Me was recorded in late 1995, early 96. It was the perfect reintroduction into the limelight. By June of 1996, Pac
Me a 10 like that.
And this was just 4 months after the release of All Eyes on Me. Sources close to Tupac estimate that 50 to 70% of the first installment was already mapped out for the One Nation album. I believe One Nation was intended to balance and counter the aggression of 7 Day Theory, where Tupac targeted East Coast heavyweights like Jay-Z, Mobb Deep, and Jimmy Henchman. Even while Tupac went at numerous East Coast figures on 7 Day Theory, he still dropped tracks like White Man's World. Let's roll the clip.
But I'll take that 10.
Whereas 7 Day Theory was combative, One Nation was more so Tupac gathering the troops to get ready for war. Members of the Outlaw have said that Pac planned to include Nas on the One Nation album, following Pac running into Nas at Battery Park after the MTV Awards on September 4th, 1996. This was just 3 days before his fatal shooting.
You believe in God? Certainly. Believe in Death Row East. Believe in that. Real. That all these people talking about an East Coast, West Coast war, they like the Judas was to Jesus. All these weak rappers, Nas, all these suckers, they battling off the East and West like this is a game.
Ed Lover and Nas would give a moment of silence on the day Tupac passed. This was just 3 days after piecing it up with Nas. Let's roll the clip.
Here, I think it's time Tupac Shakur passed away, y'all.
In the end, Tupac was fighting the same system his mother once faced. For him, it was hip-hop police, compromised industry figures, and media narratives that infiltrated the rap game. Yet, through it all, his strategy never wavered. One Nation was built on the same premise of his other works, like Strictly For My Niggas, which was building black solidarity across the world.
17. But some of us hit that wall, look it dead in the face and say, I'm coming back.
But today, right now, I need you to listen closely. I'm coming back. Not maybe, not someday, not when I feel ready. I'm coming back now.
Your comeback starts with refusing to give up on the life you were meant.
Stay motivated, everybody. Listen.
My plan is not to stay dead. My plan is not to stay down. My plan is not to remain immobilized, stuck in obscurity and indecision and oppression and insecurity. The plan, the vision, the aim, my target is not to live a life half speed. I was built to challenge limitations, to redefine expectations, tear down the walls of Jericho that surrounded me. Because God did not put this power in me to buckle under pressure.
Don't buckle under pressure. Never.
Everything fall apart so you can see what you were really made of. I realize the comeback doesn't start when things get easy. The comeback starts when you decide your excuses are no longer more powerful than your purpose.
You save yourself. You fight your way out.
So it's working.
You claw back piece by piece until your soul remembers who the hell you are.
And so stop making excuses, because strength is born when excuses die.
Let's unite and subscribe.
This is the year
Yurt.
I come back. What's your plans for this year? What's your plans in this season? What are you going to accomplish over the next 90 days, 6 months, 2 years? When you stretch beyond what you think is possible, you discover what actually is. And that discovery only comes when you are willing to take the risk of going too far. You tell them, resurrection. You want to know what my plan is? It's to come back for everything. Resurrection is my plan. I want to challenge you. Belongs to the bold, the courageous, the faithful. The future belongs to those who, when the world thinks you're crazy, you just tell them, I'm not crazy, I'm called. And I refuse to let anybody take my crown. When you are weary, when people stop believing in you, when it's uncomfortable, when you are torn between caution and courage and passion and timidity, between holding on and surging forward, between playing it safe and pushing too far, remember this. Be the person that goes too far, that does too much. When people say, that man is crazy, and you will respond, I'm not crazy. I'm just called. And when you live by that, you will rewire your mind and rewrite the limits that everyone else accepted. You're not just returning, you're rising, you're not just coming.
Reset your mind. Stop replaying what broke you. Start focusing on what builds you. 2, restart your discipline. 1 step, 1 habit, 1 promise to yourself kept each day. 3, refocus on your purpose. Who you were is gone. Who you are becoming is the threat. Stop apologizing for wanting more. You have no idea how powerful you are when you stop living in your past and start living in your calling. You survived your worst days. You endured heartbreak and it should have crushed you. You walked through fire that would have burned most people alive, and you're still here. So stand up, straighten your back, lift your chin, and declare it out loud with every piece of strength inside of you. I'm not done. I'm not finished. I'm not defeated. I'm coming back.
Fuck off.
There's only one you. There will never be another you. You are an unrepeatable miracle. Nobody has your fingerprint. Nobody has your story. They did not understand your struggle. And they won't believe your comeback. Remember this, there will be seasons where you lose strength. That your weakness is not the end. The weakness that you feel, it is training. And leave a mark. There will be seasons where you will walk alone, but the isolation will not kill you. You'll come out of that season with instructions, with a vision. Those seasons of isolation when you felt as though you were going to break. Some of you thought God forgot you, that he was forming you. Some of you thought the delay was denial, but he was designing something in you, manifesting it within your heart. Something greater, something you had never seen, something unfamiliar. Your wilderness was not punishment. It was preparation. Preparing you for uncharted territory, for you to go places you have never been.
You know, I remember a season of my life where I lost everything. My voice, my confidence, my focus. I wasn't just off track. I felt like I had fallen off the map. Days blended into weeks and weeks into months. I was praying, fighting, begging God for a sign, and all I heard was silence. People calling me out. Life calling me out. And worst of all, I counting myself out. But here's the truth. Nobody.
It's honestly just a random like video, just a bunch of comeback unrecognizable quotes of 2006 coming up. A little bit of motivation for everybody right now. Believe in yourself.
It tells you. Sometimes God lets everything fall apart so you can see what you were really made of. You know, one day I looked in the mirror and I said,
subscribe.
This is not where my story ends. You know, reset doesn't mean start over. Restart doesn't mean you fail. Refocus doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. And you're finally ready to fight again.
Make the rest of your life the best of your life. Make this the year that they remember your name.
Reset, restart, refocus. This is not a new chapter. This is a whole new book. You're not starting over because you failed. You're starting over because you're smart enough to know you deserve more. And let me make one thing very clear. Your comeback, it will be stronger than anything you've done before. Because this time, you're not fueled by ego. You're fueled by purpose. You're fueled by clarity. You're fueled by pain that didn't break you. You're fueled by the realization that you only get one life, and you refuse to waste another second of it. Because I've spent enough time on the ground, enough time doubting, enough time apologizing for being human, enough time pretending I'm okay being average. I'm done with that version of me. It's dead, it's buried, it's gone. This is the rebirth, the reset, the restart, the refocus, the return.
This is not the season, but the era where you say, enough is enough. No more hiding, no more shrinking back. This is the year where destiny says, get up. There's work to do. When destiny calls, excuses die. When purpose rises, fears retire. When identity awakens, limitations collapse. This is not the year where you negotiate yourself out of greatness. This is the year when you no longer bow down to insecurity, anxiety, and defeat. This is the year of change. I'm coming back.
Claw your way into your future. Fight for your goal. Give it everything you have because you have nothing to lose.
Life's gonna hit you in your mouth and you gotta do me a huge favor. Your why has to be greater than that knocked out. And I love it. Buster Douglas got knocked out. Nobody ever got knocked out by Mike Tyson and ever got back up. It was almost a 10 count. He was stumbling. They were 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding, ding, ding. Saved by the bell. He goes to his corner. The whole world is like, that's it. Once he comes back out, that's it. Mike's gonna just be hammering. And exactly that. Mike Tyson came out like, I got him. I got this kid up against the rope. Listen to me, many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope. You can't give up. You can't give in. Listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, I need you to do what Buster Douglas did. Buster Douglas started fighting back.
Uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson.
The world is shocked. Goliath has been knocked down. What happened? And they went to Buster Douglas and they asked Buster Douglas simply like, what happened? And Buster Douglas said, listen to me, it's real simple. Before my mother died, she told the whole world that I was going to be like Tyson. And 2 days before the fight, my mother died. Buster Douglas had a decision to make. When his mother died, he could die with his mother, or he made a decision, I can wake up and I can live for mom. And he knocked Mike Tyson out simply because his why was greater than that punch. His why was greater than defeat. His why was greater than his trial and his tribulation. And I'm telling you, if you don't know what your why is, and your why isn't strong, you're going to get knocked out every single day.
A man is not a man by his age. A man is a man by his experiences. What he goes through. What he fights through. That's what makes a warrior. That's what makes the greatest of all time. I will end my life in a bottomless pit. I'm gonna rise, and I'm gonna show a world that greatness is obtained by a man that never stopped pushing.
I believe, and I stand on it to this day. As long as the sun is shining on my face and not on my grave, I got an opportunity of a lifetime.
When you fight as if you are already dead, you are without restraint. You are a disruptor. You break all the rules because you have nothing to lose. You are desperate for resurrection, and you will do anything that is required to accomplish the goal you are setting out to achieve.
I don't care how good you are. I don't care how talented you are. Because Bruce Lee said it best. A warrior is an average person with laser-like focus. A warrior is an average person with laser-like focus. Don't even worry about your ability. Don't you worry about opportunity. I need you to be a warrior right now and let your work get your opportunity. Let your work get your praise. Let your work open up doors. Let your work get people paying attention. Let your work get the whole world to notice. You gotta work. Stop thinking. Stop procrastinating. And you gotta work. I need you to rise up to fulfill your dreams. Rise up and attack your goals. There's no time to sleep. No time to nap. No time to waste. If you fall asleep, wake up and rise up again. You should work so hard that you collapse in the bed at night. Sometimes in the afternoon, you're so weary from grinding that your body just collapses. That's okay. That's sweet sleep. But when you wake up, grind again. Now is your time. Now is your season. Now is the moment to capture the vision.
To win any battle, you must fight as if you are already dead.
You better go inside. You still looking outside for the stuff that's already inside. You still looking for someone to save you when you already your superhero. You looking for some information from somebody when you already got what you need in your head. It's just time for you to get up and be the best version of you.
The next day you say, I got this, I do this, I breathe this, I am this. You can't stop me.
Here's what success is all about. You need these three things. Are you ready? You need skill set, mindset, and opportunity. You need to rise up and understand what success is all about. Skill set, work on your skill. Mindset, work on your mentality, baby, and your opportunity will come.
There will always be a million reasons to say no, a million reasons to play it safe, a million reasons to stay comfortable. But you won't achieve your dreams staying in your comfort zone. You won't accomplish your goals by living in that glass cage you built around you that limits you from realizing your potential. So take the hammer, smash the glass, and jump off the cliff and build your wings on the way down. You'll learn to fly before you fall. If you are listening to this and feeling scared, you should feel scared. Accomplishing a dream isn't, nor should it ever be easy.
You know, some individuals like it easy. They like it put on a pedestal for them. But some of us gotta grind. We gotta dig. We gotta make it happen for ourselves. You see, no, we never did it for the money. We did it to stop the blood. We did it to stop the pain. We did it to turn the showers into sunshine. We won't stop until our family no longer struggles. We won't stop until we're number one.
This will not be easy, but in the end, you will win.
And you know why I'm so passionate? Because the rest of the world don't understand my passion. You know, the world don't want my passion. They think my passion is too much. I'm going to give you a little bit more. You know why? Because passion is what makes me who I am today. What are you? And what are you prepared to do? Are you prepared to fight? Are you prepared to bleed? Are you prepared to work?
It's not an option. And the reason why some of you are not where you're supposed to be, you've given yourself an option. You've given yourself an out. You've given yourself an excuse. You've given yourself room not to do it. I'm not speaking no more to entertain. I'm not speaking to help people. I'm speaking so my girl never have to go back to work again. I'm speaking so that the MS don't kill her. I got a different drive. I got a different why. I got to make this $1.8 million so my girl can quit for the rest of her life. I'm taking all gigs. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And the problem with some of you in this room, you don't have no drive. You ain't got nothing pushing you. You ain't got no reason for waking up in the morning. You ain't got no reason for pushing past that pain. You have no reason. You better find one before you get out of here today.
Our lives are so short. There is no time to waste.
What is the best advice you've ever heard or received?
Spend so much time on self-improvement that you have no time to criticize others.
Trees don't hang around with the grass, even though they all started from the same place.
If you're a friend of everybody, you're an enemy to yourself.
There's no losing, only learning. There's no failure, only opportunities. And there's no problems, only solutions.
I didn't fail, I fell. And as long as I get up, I win.
If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start.
The fact that it is painful is the reason that it's working.
Never say never. Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion. Thank you very much.
What you do frequently becomes your frequency. So if you want to know your life, look at your habits. That's what you do frequently, right? And they add up to a rhythm. That rhythm becomes a pattern. That pattern becomes your character. That character becomes your life. You're not going to be able to break out of it until you change something about who you are.
I love the mentality that I'm beating my competitors silently, but they don't even know it. They're out partying. I'm out here getting ahead.
Whenever I get to a low point where I think, why do I even bother? I just remind myself, this is when most people stop, and this is why they don't win. Hard feels shitty. This is what hard feels like, and this is why most people can't do it, but you can.
He's the biggest man I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to fight him.
That's why no one will remember your name.
You need to put yourself in uncomfortable situations and uncomfortable scenarios, okay? If you do easy things, you will have a hard life. If you do hard things, you will have an easy life. Let me say it again. If you do easy things, you will have a hard life. If you do hard things, you will have an easy life. As a man, you have to understand that we as men, we do better in environments where we are uncomfortable, okay? You put pressure on a rock, it turns into a diamond. You being in uncomfortable situations will bring the best out of you.
Don't make excuses. Some of the best athletes, the greatest athletes in the world, do things when they're uncomfortable. It's the best people who can overcome when they're tired, sore.
What is your deepest fear, young man?
Why do I keep saying that? What's your deepest fear? What that mean?
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Sir, I just want to say thank you. You saved my life.
You're always afraid to take the first step because all you see is every negative thing 10 miles down the road. You can do anything you want. You are bound by nothing. What are you passionate about?
And it wasn't like someone came around and said, hey, man, you can do this. This is all me. I had to stop thinking normal. I had to stop thinking normal. I can no longer be a common man walking around doing common things.
If you even have this much savage in you, everything out there is for the taking. If you are willing to go out there and grind and work hard, you know, you got these people that don't want to go to work, they want to stay home, and these people that don't want to, stay home, man, and do your thing. Good luck to you. I wish you all the luck in the world. There's going to be a small group of hungry savages out there that are going to run every one of you over.
The worst prison in the world is having the talent and intelligence to achieve something great, but lacking the courage to go out and do it.
It doesn't matter about the past. It's today. What are we doing today? What are we going to engage now? And once we engage, we commit. There's no half commitment. There's no quarter commitment. There's no three-quarter. It's full commitment. Once we engage, it's every day we engage.
Set a time to train at that time. Set a time to go sleep at that time. Set a time to get up at that time. Don't tell yourself you need to do something and then don't do it. That's what I was talking about with Ariel. I knew in my head I was saying, get up at this time. I didn't get up at that time. Train at this time. I didn't train at that time. Don't do this. I had that. Don't drink that. I drank it. And these all just infiltrating my mental strength. Just little kind of defeat. Exactly, little defeats instead of wins, and it just culminates into and you just don't want to be here.
I know what darkness looks like. I know what it feels like to be alone, with no motivation, no drive, no passion. For the first 20-some years of my life, it was just darkness. But if you are able to get up every morning, have no passion, no drive, no motivation, and still get up with that kind of fire, you will be successful in life. I guarantee you that.
Here's the secret to my success. I stood up and did it again. I stood up and I did it again. And I did it again, and I did it again all those many years ago. I did it when I was scared, and I did it when I didn't want to, and I did it when I was ill.
Say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
These scars we have make us who we are. We're not meant to go back and fix them. And there's nothing broken with you that needs to be fixed. Take it from an old guy who's made a lot of mistakes. Do live your past. Live your life.
It's always you versus you. If you're competing against other people, you're going to become bitter. Eventually you'll become bitter. But if you compete against yourself, you'll become better. You know what I mean?
When it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life.
To it, no matter the scars. And when the time comes, you get the chance to really test the cut of your sails and show what you're made of.
While they're partying, you're working. While they're sleeping, you're working. While they're at the cinema eating junk food, you're at home healthy, eating organic food, developing your mindset. Why? Not because you're a freak, but because you realize that in order to get to the next level, you must be willing to sacrifice the necessities and the requirements to get to the next level.
You know what? Not today. Maybe tomorrow. Well, guess what? That's why it's so easy to be great nowadays, because most motherfuckers are weak.
If you play it safe, you're gonna exist. You only get to live when you take risks. Ain't no living in safety.
Practice any art. Music, singing, dancing, acting, drawing, painting, sculpture, poetry, fiction, essays, reportage. No matter how well or badly, not to get money and fame, but to experience becoming, to find out what's inside you, to make your soul grow.
If you're serious about change, just know you're gonna go through some uncomfortable situations. Stop trying to dodge the process, because in the long run, it's gonna make you better. And don't forget that shit you heard.
You are not ready.
I know.
Like everyone else, you want to learn the way to win, but never to accept the way to lose, to accept defeat. To learn to die is to be liberated from it. So when tomorrow comes, you must free your ambitious mind and learn the art of dying.
You know, if I see something, I see an opportunity, I'm gonna go for it. You know what I'm saying? We only, we're all gonna die one day.
Yeah, it's true.
So we live like that. Live like you could die tomorrow. Go for it.
We can read the quote once more.
Instead of spending time getting in the mood to work, just start working. People think they need perfect conditions to start, when in reality, starting is the perfect condition.
Being a winner is a curse. It doesn't matter how much you've won before, you're not a winner until you win again. And again, and again. Nothing is enough. No one understands. And you never want it to stop.
And if you really want to avoid all the critics in your life, then do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing, and you'll never get their attention. But if you are something, and you're doing something, and you become something, guess what? You get their attention. And that pisses them off, because they can never be what you are now. So the only thing they can do to make them feel good is try to bring you down.
You know, it's gonna be a lot of people out there that don't like what you're doing. They're gonna call you weird, they ain't gonna understand it, they gonna hate on you. But as long as you like what you're doing.
So life is to give up on whatever you're focused on or whatever you're hopeful for. The hardest thing is to keep going, but we have to. Like, we have to continue to hold on. And I would imagine for so many people out there, that is probably the most difficult thing.
Believe in yourself. Don't fear failure. Dream big. Work hard. Stay positive. Enjoy the journey.
Learning is the beginning of life change. Some people want to start with motivation, but you don't start with motivation. But here's the best motivation we've got going. The proof of our success. When we bring our success stories to this platform, that's enough motivation. When we bring our dedication and let it show.
It's all about mindset. Yeah. You have to change the dialogue within your head.
I can do this. Yes, you can.
When your mind knows it's not going to quit, your body will adapt to whatever is in front of it. So I hit you with this. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done.
They say the greatest achievement of somebody comes right after their worst defeat. When they've hit rock bottom, hit the bottom of the barrel, they got nothing left. Everyone's given up on them. They've lost all their worldly possessions. They're dead broken on their back. It's at that point, guys, when everything's lost, that everything can be gained.
Focus and fail fast. Focus and fail fast. Learn quickly, try something new. Because the faster you fail and learn, the faster you succeed. You actually learn to succeed by failing. If you want to increase your rate of success, you must double your rate of failure. Because success lies on the far side of failure.
You know, I've been told I wasn't good enough since recruiting. I remember all the recruiters' names that told me no. I remember all the Elite 11 guys that got chosen over me. Well, you can accept the fact that people are saying those guys are better than you, or you can just keep working. That's what I did. I knew I would be at this point. That's exactly what happened. So I remember all that stuff. I keep a mental log of it.
Why?
I think that's just who I am.
I can see it even on your face right now. Those slights.
Yeah. I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living.
It wouldn't kill you to try. You know, spending a long time getting a life you would actually want is about 1,000,000 times better than getting a quick turnaround time on a life that you'll forever be disappointed with. You know, playing it safe seems just fine until you get to the last moments of your life and realize all the potential that you threw away and can never get back. And I will never know from experience what that feels like, but the thought of that realization is haunting.
How old are you now? I'm 57. If you were to go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, when you were starting from zero, what's the best advice you would give to your younger self?
If a bird lands on the branch, does the bird trust the branch or does it trust its wings? And the clue, I've seen many birds land on branches, but what I've never seen is a branch break and a bird fall and die. Trust your wings.
Wow. I think when it comes to desiring a life, looking at, okay, what is it that I want? You need to be very, very careful about what the process is in order to get the outcome that you want. Because if you want the outcome, but you're not prepared to live the life needed to get it, you're just asking for disappointment.
Yeah, well said.
I went from very average thinking person, like just average 19-year-old,
yeah,
to getting, I don't like reading, so I literally got on all these TED Talks and on YouTube, and I just started YouTubing videos about self-belief and what does it mean to be confident, and what does it mean to be a winner? How do you become a winner? And I would watch hours and hours of Tony Robbins and Les Brown and TED Talks, and I taught myself how to believe in myself and how to think that I was greater than just this kid that was a dropout who never really had great grades, never really was the starter, never was the captain of a team, just always kind of this average person. And overnight, I taught myself that I could be great and change myself.
If you make yourself more than just a man,